Hey everybody, we're back with our next progression segment here, and Missy is going to take it away with Artisan Progression. Missy.
Alrighty, Artisan Progression. Players must choose a path in the Artisan skill tree for each character. Within each of the three parent Artisan paths, gathering, processing, and crafting, there are different professions. A character may only ever master one of these parent paths. Gathering is a parent Artisan path along with processing and crafting. Within each of the three parent paths lies different professions. You may only ever master one parent path, but you may spend time mastering each profession within the parent Artisan path. Becoming a master crafter or a master processor or a master gatherer should be a significant time investment and resource investment. And because of that, it should also be something that when you achieve that status, it's like people on the server know who you are.
Go to Missy for
So,
all stuff.
yep, because I want to be a crafter.
So you are doing crafting?
Yeah.
Cool.
I want to design my own gear.
Yeah, and it'll actually have, it'll probably say it on here, but you'll actually have your character's name on your gear. Which I think BDO does that.
I don't know, I've never crafted anything.
Yeah, I think it actually, yeah, it does. I think it does.
Yeah, it does. I was going to say, yeah, because I bought a piece of gear that said that, yeah. Who made it.
Cool.
Okay, so Artisan Progression within the Artisan tree occurs based on experience, which is repetition of tasks, within a branch and also via achievement of certain benchmarks within each branch. Players can dabble in all professions at a beginner's level before they decide to master a particular pathway. Choosing a specific path in the skill tree allows the player an opportunity to specialize in a certain area. This encourages player interdependency, enhancing the Artisan experience. It is possible to master multiple professions, but not all, within a parent Artisan path. But this will be a long and labor-intensive feat, requiring many resources. A player may only master a profession if they have achieved the Artisan path mastery. Based on testing, it may be decided to limit profession mastery certificates to a capped value. Masteries aren't just about making an item, they grant many things including titles, access to items, bargains, and quests. Ooh, I like bargains.
Right.
So Steven says players will have the opportunity to kind of dabble in all the professions at a very beginner's level, and then that kind of gives them an understanding of what that profession feels like, and then allows them to kind of pinpoint the direction that they want to go in to master particular professions. So it seems like you're going to have an opportunity to see what each one does.
Yeah.
Before you choose a path. So if very, very beginners, you can take a look at how it feels, and then you can decide which one's the right path for you.
Yep.
So Artisan tools. Gathering Artisan classes require the creation and use of harvesting tools that enable the gathering of resources. Progression in the Gathering Artisan class unlocks higher level harvesting tools that enable gathering of higher level resources. A gathering at maximum proficiency will unlock master tool sets that will grant them access to the highest quality gatherables. Tools will have durability and tool lifespans, like BDO.
Yep.
The amount of usages of a gathering tool increases as the gatherer becomes more proficient in the Gathering Artisan tree. Tools may become non-repairable, requiring recrafting. Or recrafting. Did I say requafting?
Requafting.
Requafting. I sound like Elmer Fudd. Requafting.
You gotta requaft.
Artisans will not need to rely on other trees in order to make their tools. So Steven says tools do advance within the Artisan tree, so your ability to either gather, process, or craft will require the equivalent tools necessary at that stage of crafting in order to accomplish the task at hand. So you could not mine copper and mithril with the same tool. So processing requires blueprints for the construction of buildings that are needed to process resources. Crafting requires the acquisition of recipes in order to craft items. So legendary items. There is a small RNG chance of looting rare and legendary items or crafting materials from mobs based on the level, status, and type of mob. This also applies to harvesting resources with the gathering profession. There is a much higher chance that materials and unique recipes are dropped that can be used to craft items of equitable value. Legendary equipment is only dropped by legendary world bosses.
Which I know you,
Gatherers?
Missy, I know you were talking about this, about how much would you actually have to hit that monster to be able to have that drop, and if you would actually have to go out of your way to, So I think it's a valid concern. Is legendary world boss. So is that an open world boss, or is that a raid dungeon? I gotta get into a group boss. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely have to see how that plays out.
Exactly. Gatherers must have high-quality tools to gather rare resources. Processors must have high-tier processing buildings on their freehold to produce rare materials. Crafters must also satisfy certain prerequisites to craft legendary equipment. So I will read this from Stephen. The amount of effort needed and interdependencies across the different types of players, between raiders and PvPers and crafters and even role players and the taverns and businesses, the processors and gatherers, all of those systems will likely have a component that lends towards creating or crafting that legendary item. We want to stay away from the highly RNG'd system, and instead take our multiple progression paths that we are offering the players and put the construction components for achieving these legendary items within them, so it encourages communities to work together, because it's going to be difficult for just one person by themselves to gather everything. Not to say that they couldn't in an economic sense. By buying those components, that's possible. But achieving them from a time investment standpoint, we want it to be considerably less RNG focused.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in the sense, if you were to be like, Missy, you go up to like, a level 50 warrior and be like, hey, I'll pay you 1,000 gold. I don't know how much like currency is going to be valued in here. I'll pay 1,000 gold if you go into that dungeon and get me that piece. So in the end, you could always do something like that, or it's just also, are these things as a legendary item? I would almost think it's, well, coming from WoW, would be bind when picked up, right?
Yeah.
But if it's not bound in any sense, and you can sell in the auction house, then I guess through economics you could get everything that you need instead of having to go into said dungeon / raid. Or you just pay an actual person, hey, you do this, go get it for me. Here's 1,000, here's 500 gold, get the other 500 gold when you come back. So, yeah.
Okay, so discovery of legendary items will unlock further chapters of the lore. They're absolutely legendary items, and they're not items that are attained easily, nor are they granted out in a volume. There might even be items that are single items that will exist on the server at any given time.
So that rare golden egg.
Somebody get that goose.
Yep.
A legendary weapon is easily distinguished by its visual appearance.
Can't wait to see him.
I know, right? It will be a very ornate and detailed weapon, more so than any other weapon or piece of equipment in the game. It will also include some awesome looking effects that won't be too gaudy. They won't be too bright and shiny so that it doesn't look good, but they will be subtle and people will notice it and know, wow, that guy has this weapon.
Whoa.
Whoa, dude, that weapon.
Dude. Bro.
So legendary items are not intended to be temporary. A notable exception to this is royal mounts. So Stephen says the fact that there is only one of them, or very, very few of them, depending on what it is, I think that in and of itself is a balance component, right? And you need to make sure that the players who are striving for those legendary things and who are devoting the time, energy, resources in order to achieve them are accurately rewarded. We do not intend on having legendary items that are temporary.
Nice.
Good. So my legendary staff will
Yeah.
always be mine. It shall always be mine.
Yep. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, religion progression. There are player progression paths within a religion. Players may follow only one religion at a time. Religious progression is based on quests that are only offered to the followers of that religion. Religions have a ranking system based on a player's performance in these quests and the number of quests completed. Changing religion will cause a loss of progress in a player's previous religion. So it sounds like almost kind of like reputation in a way. I'd almost think like the more quests you do, the more reputation you get. You know, you can work your way up. If you switch, you might go back to neutral, or you'll lose some type of reputation. But then you could probably rejoin the other one, and you just have to pick it up again, right? So we'll definitely see how religions play on here. I think relics too is a part of religion, so you'll have different unique relics and stuff like that as well. Alright, the Mariner class, naval progression. Mariner classes, also referred to as a boatsmanship classes, boatsman skills, and seamanship, contain different skill trees arranged in a similar manner to artisan classes. As a player gains experience in these different skills, they become more adept at using them. So a gunnery, piloting, navigation, boat repair, ship components, defensive skills, utility-based skills. You can spec into and create your own class based on the things that you're doing on the boat. It's going to be very similar to in structure to like the artisanship trees. So you'll have your Mariner class. You'll have different trees in that class. So I guess Mariner classes will have their own little things going on. So we'll definitely see, like I said, religion, Mariner, they'll definitely be expanded over time. But yeah, do you have anything to add to that, Missy, or are you good?
I'm good.
All right.